This lighting situation is not ideal, but this is what we're working with. I had to disrupt my setup because the desk where I film is also the desk where I will be working. I have been allotted a certain amount of time to work from home now. It's also thunderstorming outside right now, so if you can hear the rain and or thunder, sorry, not sorry. I mean, I think it's a really soothing sound, but anyway, today you see Sharpies. We're gonna be doing this nail look. This is what I'm going to call my birthday nails for this year. My birthday is coming up in less than a week now. And you know, it's not, well, the sand's not done yet. It's not really themed to a birthday, but it's sparkly and it's kind of got these calming blue and purple tones, a little bit ethereal, whimsical. I could use all of that right now. I think we all could use that right now. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Really the biggest thing is showing you how I made the colorful background. The rest is just kind of gluing on little added accent things. But anyway, less talking, more showing. So this hand, I've already put base coat and white gel polish on top. So however you got to get to this point, do that. This white gel polish usually has a sticky coat on it. After it cures, there's no more sticky coat because I actually did wash that off, but I want to wipe these one more time just because I did put on a little lotion because these hands were looking a little crusty. They're probably still a little crusty looking. All of our hands are probably crusty looking. Anyway, I put some rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle. If you have the luxury of rubbing alcohol, you could do this with this. This is rubbing alcohol I've had for like years, so it's probably not even effective for like disinfecting purposes right now. But it does get my sticky layers off, and it will do what I needed to do here. If you don't have rubbing alcohol, you should be able to do this with acetone or nail polish remover also. I have some Sharpies here. Or permanent markers. I guess any permanent marker would do. I think these are the same purple, probably with purple, a couple different blues, and a pink. I'm going to put this blue aside because I'll be using that later. I'm actually going to do the colors in 2 layers. I'm going to start with the purple. Take your Sharpie and just kind of scribble some patches on your nail. So I do kind of like to have the darker stuff towards the outside. And it's okay if you get some of this on your skin, at least from the standpoint of we can clean it up later. I don't know, it's probably not great for your body to have permanent marker on it, so don't do it on purpose, but with regards to the design, it's okay. So we'll just keep squiggling. Random patches. However you want. And I don't think you even really have to have it perfectly filled in. You want most of it, but it will kind of spread out and finish covering the nail. And then we're going to take, or the way I did it anyway, I'm going to take the pink and fill in some more patches. Again, no rhyme or reason really. That's what I'm doing. And then for these lighter colored Sharpies, I do try to clean the tip up a little bit on a piece of paper just to keep them a little bit cleaner for next time. Actually, I'll put this piece of paper right over here. I'm gonna try and protect my little sound recorder there for this next step. This next step, again, you'll need the rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle, or you can just drip it from a little thimble, or not thimble literally, but little small vessel, or you could use acetone, especially if you're using a gel polish. Acetone should work okay. If you're using regular polish, it's going to mess up your manicure. Here we have our manicure with the Sharpie on it. I'm going to spritz with rubbing alcohol. And you can see how it kind of makes it look watercolory, marble-like, and it'll evaporate on its own. Now I take a little piece of tissue, or this is a lint-free wipe that I have specifically for doing my nail art, and I use that to just soak up anything that's pooling around my nails, because the less I have to clean up later, the better. So that's the first layer. Now I don't want to disturb this again, especially if I'm happy with the look of it. So I'm going to put a clear coat over it and cure that, or if it's regular polish you're using, you're going to let that dry, and then we'll go into the next layer. So I'll be right back. We have a top coat on this little marbling of color here. And if you're happy with that, you're welcome to leave it, but I wanted a little bit more depth like I did on this hand. We're going to go in again with purple and with our dark blue also. I'm going to start with the dark blue. And so here it's a little more strategic. So wherever you previously put color, you might want to kind of put it where it was darker or where you were aiming to have things a little darker. You don't want to completely necessarily cover exactly where you were before, but just to add depth. Alright, so this is where we are at, and we will put the rubbing alcohol on there again. And it slowly kind of starts to disperse. If you need another spray, we can do that. I think I might do a little bit more there. And we'll clean up where we can clean up. So, I'm going to soak up the sides of the nail here. So keep spritzing and playing with it until you're happy with the effect that you have. I'm happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and top coat it. I might clean up a little bit more around the sides of the nail beds, and I'll be right back. We're back. I've top coated. I actually took a meal break, so hopefully I don't have any food on here. So now we are at the stage where we can start decorating if you so choose. So on this side, I have a large gem type piece on the middle finger, a little star type pendant on the ring finger, some simple glitter on the pinky. My index finger, I put some gems in the shape of the Aries symbol because I am an Aries. And my thumb is a triangle with another star in it. I'm going to repeat that on this hand. Let me start with the pinky and applying just some glitter. I think we all know how to do that, but I'll go ahead and show you for the sake of being thorough. So I do have a gel polish that already has the glitter in there, and I kind of like to use this dabbing motion for my glitter so I can kind of determine where I want roughly the glitter's placed. So I'll go ahead and cure that. For my ring finger, I have that little star pendant, so I'm going to take some gel top coat. You could also use a glue, but the way this particular pendant is, I had the most success with gel top coat. And I'm going to stick it on there, if I can get it to release. That was just some like tack, like you might use to put a poster up on your wall. on the end of a pen that I use to kind of help pick up little stones sometimes. It doesn't release real well, but it's good for picking them up at least. So I'll go ahead and cure that in place. All right, so I've cured that in place. Now for this middle finger, I have this gem on this nail, and it's a very large gem, and glue by itself is not going to hold it very well. Additionally, if you just glue it, it's going to snag on everything, and this thing is probably still going to snag a lot anyway, but I was turned on to this gel material. I don't know that you have to use this kind. You might be able to use any thick builder gel, but this is something that will help give the gem something to kind of hang on to, because the gem that I'm using has like a 3D-ness to it, and my nail is not going to be shaped like that, right? So I put it on there and it might stick in a few small spots, but not very well. So I'm going to put some builder gel on the nail, smush this on top of it, and then that's going to help hold it in place a whole lot better. So less talking, more doing. Using a brush that I specifically use with this type of gel stuff, I'm going to grab a little blob of it. And I'm just going to smoosh it onto the nail. You can kind of drag it around a little bit. And we're going to take stone, position it how we want it, like squish it down on there and position it how we want it. I'm going to cover this because I'm about to cure it and I don't want to cure my whole jar. Let's go ahead and cure. All right, so I've cured that little stone on there. And the next step is I want to put some builder gel like under this lip here. Because again, if that snags on something, that little gap behind here and these little gaps on the side, if I can fill those in with a little bit of builder gel, it'll make it so this doesn't snag on like my hair or my clothing. And I know some people don't mind that. They work around it. It drives me nuts. Also, given the current climate, having 3D nail art like this is not really the most hygienic. So by filling in those spaces, it's less places for dirt and bacteria to hide. So I'm taking little bits of the gel. It likes to make these little spider strings. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you real well, but I'm kind of just tucking in a little bit all around the sides wherever I can get in. And even reinforcing these corners a little bit. All right, so I filled in those little corners, those little gaps the best I can. Cover this guy up and cure that again. All right, so we are cured there. We're going to move on to the index finger. I'm going to use this builder gel stuff again. I've got a few little stones put out here. I'm going to go ahead and apply another just very thin layer of this thick gel stuff on my index finger. So we're going to apply the builder gel, just a thin layer over the entire nail on the index finger. I'm doing this so the little stones have something to sink into. So this is another tool I have. It's a wax pencil. It can be used to pick up and place our little stones. And I'm just doing them in kind of like an abstract Aries symbol. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to cure that, and then we'll be back. Okay, that's cured, and now I'm going to put some stuff on my thumb. So, yet again, we're using the builder gel, thick gel stuff, and just take a little bit. And spread that over the nail thinly, just to give the decoration something to kind of sink into and hang on to. Take my little wax pencil and drop that down there. And whoop, take my little star. I actually might need a little more builder gel for that. Plop that in the center here. And place it how I likes it. And then I'm going to cure that. Okay, we're back. I've cured the thumbnail in place. So the next step that I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little bit of the builder gel over my index finger and over the thumb, just to help seal in these corners of these decorations so that they hopefully don't catch too much on anything. So I'm just kind of wiggling it. Into place. So we're going to do the same for the thumbnail here. If you look on the side, you can kind of see, I hope, that it's not completely smooth. We're going to put the builder gel on that to help smooth that out. And put our little blob on the nail and kind of massage it around so it covers everything that we want it to cover. I'm going to turn it over for 10 seconds to just kind of let it pool a little bit, and then I'm going to cure it. So the last step is going to be to apply top coat on basically all the nails, but I guess the one I would make special note of is this nail. You don't want to slather it on top of the metal or gem if you can help it. It'll kind of mess up the luster effect of it. So I'll probably just dab it on the corners of that nail. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back to show you the finished product. All right, so that is the finished product. You already kind of knew that was how it was going to turn out, but so that's my birthday nails. They don't really have much to do with birthdays, but they're all things that make me happy right now, and that's what counts. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please share, like, subscribe, comment. All those things help my channel out, and I hope to see you at the next video. Bye!